Yes, as people continue to scratch their heads around the country, you know, why is everybody paralyzed? Everybody thought that everywhere will be boiling when certain things happen. Nothing will happen in the manner, except something else is first done to remove the paralysis. And that's part of why this broadcast of now, that we finally have a group of hardened brigands who are adept at containment. That containment, like we heard Labour Party vice presidential candidate talk about, that containment begins with killing those who are going to make trouble. Nigeria does a lot of it. That containment includes bribing those who are going to make trouble, those who may say no. That containment includes, you know, intimidating, display of skeleton, and all such. But down to specifics. A few decades ago, in fact, when the soldiers were still in power in Nigeria, pointing guns at everybody, there was the student union. The students' union was a resistance, a point of resistance, and because they're in the academic environment, there was the ASU. Their teachers were active because they are the intellectual, you know, powerhouse of the society. They are the ones who know better than the rest of society because of being in the academic. They are in this information superhighway. They get to know what is happening around the world more than other people. And so it flows down to students who then become vigilant. And once there's a government policy that might affect the people negatively, between the students, their teachers will first speak it out, and then the students will organize a shutdown of to challenge the government. In the immediate aftermath of independence, there was some attempt to put a military base. I think it was the UK, Anglo, whatever, joint Anglo-Nigerian. They wanted to establish a military base in Nigeria, and it was the students' country. It was in Nigerian students that led the charge to say, no, you can't say we're independent and you come and mount this type of thing we've seen in the West African Soviet Union, where the military bases of France will be reason those countries don't actually have any independence, because they enforce their own views, economic and otherwise, social views. And so the students' union network, the students' union movement, the government as a part of containment designs infiltrated and neutralized them. Now they hold their elections at Igbo Square. The president of student union, that's as in countrywide, now will have you know, special assistance. The other day I was in traffic and I saw a Range Rover, you know, a black Range Rover, a student union. That's apparently it was the president of their current president. Student union officials are now cruising around like ministers, because the government now had them in its pocket. Just pay money to them and make sure politicians use them to rig elections, because they are all deployed, but they are not available now to think on behalf of their parents and the people. That's for students. The ASU that goes crying for salary from time to time, they cornered them into electoral duties. And so the professors look forward to elections where they are sent around to go and do things that can become 5 billion, 10 billion to be shared by those who have to be installed in power. And so ASU goes to participate in the crime that INEC has to commit to install all kinds of wrong people in governance. But they are paid in that period of the horse trading and the dark marauding. So students and ASU out of the way. Labour Congress. We remember when Labour was Labour, from the days of Michael Imodu to all kinds of other people, Oni and all of them. But when it came to characters like Adams or Shomole, they began to cut deals. How many times did Obasanjo increase petroleum price? They perfected the art of, settlement. And so you thought they were fighting for you, and they were entirely in another business of, taking whatever is brought. They will mobilize. How many times in the last 6 months alone did labor mobilize for strike that, didn't take off? So containment. The government has found a way. We saw when meetings were happening in front, flurry of meetings in the villa. We knew that beyond the cameras, the same people who have perfected the art of settlement, so labor is contained. In the National Assembly, we saw the, the SUVs, all the kinds of things, palliative of 70 billion and so forth, and 40 billion, just for them to add to what they already have. So the National Assembly that should have been saying no for the kind of crazy loans, the kind of, the loans that this, impostor government is taking on everybody's behalf. You can't believe it. Recently, the last of them, you saw the letter that went for to validate extra budget. The National Assembly is contained by what the members are given. Just share. You saw when it escaped Akpabio's mouth that members should go and check their accounts, that they've been given some token for. And then when they try to get him to stop, he then says prayer. So the National Assembly have been contained by that bribery scheme, because each of these things I've enumerated are bribery schemes. Give them money to shut up, while the people they represent are thinking that they are there to fight for them. They've been settled in the form we have told you. The judges now get land gifts in Abuja, houses gifts in Abuja. See how much money was dedicated to palliative. At a time, billions were given to judges who are going to be sitting in appeal concerning the election, what went wrong with the election. What did you expect than what we saw? So containment, the judges were given their own share. The media, we don't need to talk about that. We knew the ownership structures around the media space until the ones who could buy everybody and everything. The media houses themselves were bought in terms of ownership and shares changing hands. The editors in some of those places, again, they may be where they are, but they get their loyalties are plugged to where he who pays the piper. The tunes we've been listening to from the media, dictated by the prayers of the piper. When you tune through check through the channels, check through the front pages of the major newspapers, you discover that again the containment is complete, because you won't see anything amongst the things that should have been the front burner. They find a way to. So containment by church leaders. What else can we say? It takes being blind not to see that the private jets and private universities that are being built are all proceeds of the crime of sustaining this constitution that creates and protect corruption. The corruption you see, what do? Only to pour olive oil on the head of those who are stealing and put them on your front. Containment. The church, if there was a Desmond Tutu in this land, I'm sure he will not be one of those two people. Are we to talk about the bar association and all the other, organized, bodies? And so the simple thing we're saying is that all of the points of resistance have been corrupted, compromised, and contained. I repeat, all the points of resistance, ranging from student union to their ASU teachers, to the Labour Congress, to the National Assembly, to the judges, to the media, to the church leaders, have all been compromised intimidated and paralyzed. The few that will have been talking are now just paralyzed by the, compromise of others. But there's something. There's a NINAS that separated itself from all the avenues of compromise. Forget about individuals that may come to pretend and move away. The body, the monster that is, the big monster that is coming to take down that monster that has been tormenting all of you, has kept itself above the reach of this corrupting influence. And so there's no compromise or intimidation or settlement or containment that is in sight that could be. You can take that to the bank. And so, with all of these points of resistance contained, all of those who have lost faith, who do not know what to do anymore with their usual channels of resistance, they have converged. More will come. They are coming in torrents. You can't believe the numbers that are now on the side of that NINAS. All the attempt to contain NINAS. That will be subject of another broadcast, not yet time. You will be shocked at the names you will hear for what roles they played in attempting to compromise what NINAS has become. Unfortunately for them, they didn't know that there was a compartment that they were not privy to, that they could not reach. And so, when you have locked out all of this, you are going to wake up to the kind of thing that happened in NSAS, where you didn't know who to deal with. That's where we're going. It is in making these peaceful changes that could have come from such, engagements, from these points of saying no, that you've now made inevitable the kind of thing that is coming upon you. The earlier we turn away from foolishness and go to take what NINAS has on the table as common ground to deal with this matter in an orderly manner. This matter will settle itself in a manner that will be most unpalatable. We stop there. Thank you.